before the meeting.
It's just a very nice time. I think it's just
Right? Come
I'm
on
in here
in.
anyways.
I couldn't get my committee together another time, I really tried. How about, you guys are already coming. In order to do this, my husband's babysitting for kids. Oh, my kids. Honey, you're taking the afternoon off.
That wasn't a choice.
No, it wasn't. Okay, so public comment. Any public comment? You know, my agenda.
You printed?
Yes, there's printed
Oh, this
agendas in
one.
the back. I'm sorry.
That's
If
okay.
you got, they're two different between the regular CAC. I will do it.
Thank you.
We don't sign.
Okay, not that.
You probably should open the door.
That's what I got from the boys on that. My rule is to try. Are you feeling?
Yeah.
Are you feeling? Oh.
She came to order.
Oh,
I'm in order. So would anybody, public comment, anybody like to talk about something before we start? Okay, so, yeah, let's just get right to it. So the reason we're coming together is to, this committee is basically to help get the community more involved in what we're doing. Information out to people with IEPs, their families, and get their input. So here are some of the things that we've been, these were some things that were on the parking lot and brought to my attention and emailed and talked about. And then we'll also just brainstorm like what we think would be a good idea. So Facebook is something that has been talked about, committee. So this would be my committee. Facebook. Quite all right. So, I have several thoughts about Facebook. So I don't participate in Facebook that much, but I know that a lot of people do. So when Facebook was brought up, I looked at some other CAC Facebook pages, and of the 4 that I looked at, only 1 was actively kept up, and the other 3 were not, which was a little bit of a disappointment because I'm jumping ahead. I looked at websites, not Facebook. Never mind. Back to Facebook. I called the WESELPA to see what the policy, if there is a policy or not about having a Facebook. And what I was told immediately is that they don't have, none of the San Bernardino sites have, county sites have access to Facebook. So they can't get on Facebook, review Facebook, participate in Facebook. So I already have a little bit of a concern about us having a Facebook and them not even be able to access the Facebook since we're part of the WESELPA. But I am open to hear what you guys think about it.
True, and such, I think them not having access would have been such okay, but I think we want to stay a part of SELPA, because I think that's our mission. And if they cannot get on it, I mean, as such, it can be maintained by CAC, but I always think that, we need to always make our decisions such that it can keep working regardless of a specific, if I'm doing Facebook, which I probably cannot because I'm not on Facebook, but if that person moves on, then that's when it sort of falls apart. So I think we should keep something.
Just keeping in mind, like, what's the best way to get information to people? So if it's not Facebook, if we agree it's not Facebook at this time, if this committee's not interested, like, what would it be? So can we skip to number 3? They're a little bit out of order, because another one would be, how do we get information out? What about a website? What about a website?
A website.
What about a website? Specific CAC website? What about a website?
Don't we have a CAC page on the WESELPA?
That's what I can do.
So what you're talking about is a completely separate, independent website?
Are we interested in this completely separate independent website?
I mean, we can probably, if possible, look at more closely at the existing website and see if we
If
can
we're
like
trying to
put
get ideas out there.
And I think we'd be
better
quick to admit that we need to revamp our website. Since time doesn't permit it.
What about, to get it out to the schools? That's where we need to get people informed, correct?
Right.
once you get a following that way, then wouldn't you build more from there?
Probably so, and I think I know I've talked to our school district in the past, trying to make sure that the link is more visible, more obvious, more.
Okay, we have a website for SELPA, but are we maintaining our own?
When I went on it, it had all of our committee meetings and everything like that was on there. When I looked at the CAC website.
Susan, do you know this to be true?
I'm sorry.
I'm not updating our link, our website on your website. Is somebody updating the CAC?
You would have to be careful. The meeting was even changed. It said that it had been changed from, it, I guess, previously last year. They wrote on the website that it had to be changed.
So it is being maintained, you say?
It must have, yeah. So it's current for
Karen
Karen.
goes in and uploads,
Yeah.
like all of our agendas and all of the attachments that you see there.
Yeah.
And like I do an annual little hello, welcome to the South on the web page. So yeah.
So it's getting people to that link.
Right, I think that is.
It's getting the name out there so that you know that.
Yes, I have two suggestions. Number one is on the current CAC page, to make the agendas be in order, or at least, like, because they're in shambles, they're all over the place. And they're at the very, very bottom, so some people go there and they see the dates, and they don't know that there's an agenda way down, and then they're not even in order. So that's number one. And then number two, on the homepage of SELPA, to be able to, because I've seen other SELPAs have a subscribe type of like thing that you can press, and then you put your email address in, and then you'll get an email when there's any kind of governance meetings going on, Superintendent's Council, PAC, FAC, CAC meetings. You'll get an email, telling you when, so you're aware, or if there's presentations, whatever. So then that can have an email listserv out to people who are interested in coming.
I guess if whenever
We've
somebody
inquired about that, we're waiting to hear.
Sorry?
We've inquired for information on how that's done and we're waiting to hear.
No, okay.
then it's all automated and it's no people.
Right.
Can we agree that we like that one and we can bring that one to the CAC for, to review? We like that one? You have inquired, you're waiting for an answer?
And I know the other one that you brought up, Christy, what I do when I'm doing like packets or whatever, I do today's date first, so then they're in chronological order. And it's just a matter of organizing ourselves.
But it's not like that now.
No.
Oh, it's all over the place?
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a while.
What happens whenever you name the document, that's how it gets uploaded. So if you put CAC January 21st as opposed to January 21st CAC. It doesn't, then you
They
name
would
it.
do it. The order, you have to name it.
So we have to just put them in by dates and just always enter them one way.
If that's how you want them to be newest first, then it can be
Newest
done
first.
by the date. Then you have to be careful too to do an 01 instead of 1. Anyway.
But that
It's
can,
a town.
yeah, that's
And 12.
some consistency.
So right now, of course, Karen, and you are doing all of that, and Karen is doing.
The closest SELPA that I've seen that has that is the Desert Mountain SELPA. It has a nice subscribe button on there. I don't know if they use a different website service or what, but if that's possible.
Oh, that was the second one, okay.
That is such a standard thing for many
What was
websites.
it, just the Desert what?
Desert Mountain SELPA, up there in Victorville.
So they're also with San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools, so we have sent an inquiry to the webmaster or IT or whatever. We haven't heard back yet, but they've also hired their own webmaster, so it may be that may well be. We need to make
For updating.
They have two that they're working on. One, so if the subscribe button is on, then that's the
SELPA's website.
Well, the application, I don't know if it's an application or how you build it. Maybe you might know, computer
Well,
language stuff.
Right, I mean, not this, but I mean, it would make sense, and that's why I said it's so nicely, it would be so nicely automated, because once your email is in there, then it just generates all kinds of things, and I'm pretty sure it's a standard app or something, yeah, that's okay. No, I think it's like the standard one, right?
And you just.
I don't have my glass, oh.
It just says stay in touch and you put your email address in and
It's
you
just,
get the
you know,
email.
it's like, you go to ABCD or something like that, there's a, it's a standard thing. As I'm saying, I think it would be a standard app, I don't think anybody's going to sit and generate a whole lot of code specifically for it.
Yeah, that's something like.
Yeah, nice.
I think it would be a good idea to
You guys got one?
check all of our district websites to make sure, like, we have a
That's the
nice,
thing.
beautiful CAC page
Exactly.
that it would be a waste to have another website when it's all the information is here, but to be able to link, and I think it does in Etiwanda. CAC guidelines, click here, parent resources, I've got flyers. The October presentation, all of that information is on the Etiwanda website.
I know.
And it does even have a link too.
So we can update that, get out to the other schools.
Chino Valley has a link.
At my district, I don't know,
Most
it could
districts
be,
have a link.
Our tech
like, one of the
people
special ed
Or
secretaries, it
central,
could be a tech
yeah,
person.
our tech people.
Jeannie's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good
all,
about it.
the February 1 presentation is up
But it
there.
doesn't look very nice.
And they have a separate.
It has all of our
Pages.
Oh.
And it links to the CAC page.
I had to go
In
to
addition to-
parents, and then I went to special education, and then I went to CAC.
On the Etiwanda.
Yeah, Etiwanda.org.
So would we recommend that we go through our district to make sure there's a
I don't
CAC
know.
link on every,
But it's in the
so we'll
main page.
recommend that all representatives.
Yes, right, it's the GPS page.
Contact.
And then the advisory comes out, and then your name comes out there. and
Yeah,
then-
but there isn't one like from home for, like, if I'm looking at it, it doesn't look like it, you would have to like play with it and then put.
So I think
It'll have to probably be more
a little
accessible.
simple, more simple.
Well, or if we each,
More simple.
if we sent out messages to our special ed, if you're interested in CAC, go to, and each person would have their own direction. So Etiwanda would be, go to the etiwanda.org, click on parents, click on, and give them the specific route on how to get to CAC. And then the district.
Sorry, I was talking about something else, that's the beginning of your thing.
Because it's different in every district on how to find CAC. If the district provided special education parents with how to get to CAC, to get to, on Etiwanda, so I'm at etiwanda.org, and I click on parents, and then I click on special ed, and then I click on CAC.
Here's the magical question, how? Like how, that's why we're here, the whole reason we're here is, how do we get the message to the parents? So what's your suggestion, like what's the best way? So is it Facebook, is it website, is it flyers, is it, how
At
is
the
it?
IUPs,
I would do that first by flyer, but then, like Christie said, to have them submit, I don't think we have one.
Right. So the subscribe button.
I would, yeah.
So you're, we have flyer will be distributed at the IEP to the parent.
It could be that way, or just an
Yeah,
overall
it's always
flyer.
hard, I think, as some districts have it more accessible, it's an
Right.
ongoing thing.
Certificate, that was a big flyer, it would have been nice to have been attached to that, if you're interested in CAC, and here's how you get there, but that's a little late now.
Okay, so, but back to, onto flyers, past websites, onto flyers, and we'll go back to childcare, if you guys don't mind, onto them before. So when I talk to my district about what is the best way, how can we get information out? And they said, of course, all districts are different, but they said just what you just said, piggyback on the flyer we're doing right now. We have newsletters that go out on all sites, we have flyers that go out on all sites. If you try to piggyback with one of those, you'll get a better response.
And how is that, because I know, my daughter's school individually doesn't do paper form anymore, they've gone green, so everybody is hooked up email, so we get email flyers.
And so you could have the district, let's say it was at one of my schools doing that. So my secretary through our student data has emails, and so she does email vast information out. So she could just email that to just special ed student parents, she could email it to every parent. The biggest issue is not every parent has an email.
Exactly, I was about to
And
say,
then there was
that's
this.
sort of thing. And-
But I do like handing it out at IP meetings.
That, exactly. My
It's a great
opinion
time.
is that
And it just needs to be, even if it's just on a little
slip.
a little card about this size, 3x5, oh, here's some information on.
Just like we asked them to do with our, CAC, little three, 4 brochure, we've always asked, them to distribute that.
Or we can put it up, how when you're in an IEP, it gives you like the rules for, I don't know, of how the rights or something. It can be already on the wall. It could be something on the programs where each school site holds their IEPs. Because they're already giving you your rights, but at the same time, you have them up in the wall as well. What if we have something up in the wall?
Yeah, I think that can be district specific, whatever,
Strategizing with each one of us with our own district in the way it works. I know for the high school, it's also a little different. We try to get them or send them in different ways, like back to school night in August. We have them at every classroom, so parents are getting one. I know for the IEPs, it is always encouraged and told to the teachers and to the school side. So of course, then comes the other component, making sure that they do it. So there's two different hours that we also do it on back to school night, and then we send the flyers. So there's already 3 ways of sending it. So we're doing it that way. Many of my parents, like for Ontario area, Ontario high school, especially Ontario high school, maybe Chippy, huge percentage of Spanish-speaking parents, huge percentage. So they also have. That's why explaining that at the AP or just giving it at the AP also makes it more comfortable because it's but it's all those different ways that we combine, and I think in most districts that we've been doing different things. I know I was with OMSD, Martina was there, Mo was there, now Lizzie's there. I know we worked very hard to distribute them. It's just a matter of me doing it over and over, and you can send 100 flyers if you want parent will come.
That's fine.
Leanna's asking,
Is it a conflict to ask in the regional center when those workers come out to your home to have them, I know my son has been given things in this area for sports, to have a flyer for them to pass out on that?
I think it would be a matter of
Yeah.
the regional.
ask you just if they would.
Because if you have one person on, then other people, and then before they know it, they have 100, 200, 300 people asking them to pass out their flyers. I think it's all a matter of.
I think WESELPA, they probably would. Yeah, because WESELPA is just another,
Yeah, because it would be
Right.
and it's only this area.
Yeah.
Right, so that would be a little bit really look into it.
How do you guys feel about all calls?
All calls, yeah, I think we should,
Let's
because
call
they
it.
do it all, they do all calls for everything now.
That's the call in, right, with the reminder?
Right. Yeah, I think we all need to go back to our districts, and really, some are doing more than others, and really figure out ways with them that's,
Especially if you do it a couple nights before, like if they have a meeting or something coming up.
like the
It's
all
right,
calls.
as moms,
Right.
most of the time moms are the ones who are, I don't know, if it's fresh in my mind, I will remember.
I think I know that by the school site, right?
That school site,
That's
but
by
I'm sure the
school
directive
site.
has to
So
come
the
from the.
municipal, they have to, every school site has different calendars and schedules, so it's programmed according to what the school is.
My district said they could tag us if we chose to try and get it on all calls. They could tag us just everybody with an IEP. And it could go out,
Yeah.
but it has to be, I guess, individual school sites.
It is done by school
That's
site.
Maybe like my district, the superintendent calls every once in a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Not for us.
And for
You
those
gotta remember also
contracts.
this, and then site-wise,
Yes.
and we have to remember also the size of the school district.
Exactly.
OMSC
For us,
has
they can.
32 schools, where, how many schools does the district have?
16.
16, so we've got to keep in mind also, it is different according to the size.
That's why I think this is
Have we ever done all calls
district-specific.
before? Have we ever even asked for all calls before?
Not I have.
No.
But I think we should, because, it's big. Yeah, I think so. I think we should.
So would we recommend that,
So, I
maybe
think
we recommend the reps go out to their, we'll recommend to the CAC tonight that the reps go out to their districts and find out how we can incorporate through their systems all calls.
through all
And
their
then-
existing systems.
And then the information we would need to get to those sites and when. I guess we need to know when. who to get to and when, right? Because then we can send the information down accordingly. Yeah?
Or maybe instead of just when a timeline, like when we have an event coming up, how much in advance?
That's right, that's what I meant by it, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about, it would be starting with the presentations, right? Because I know I get calls from my school, and I for sure don't want to be getting 30 phone calls in 1 month about 100 different meetings, right? I mean, we would be starting with presentations, correct? I mean, that's what I'm,
Okay.
Right, but that's what we would suggest, because that would be great if we can get increased participation in our presentation.
And in that message, we can maybe just sort of incorporate, for any further information, please visit our website, you know, just kind of remind them, actually, in something small, you know, for more, you know, upcoming events
Like
or
they do,
meetings
like
or.
they say in ours.
Yeah, visit our website.
Yeah, website right there. Good.
Yes, and hopefully hit subscribe.
I know. And oh yeah, and actually, now we could actually, I mean, you know, all we have to do is go do and then subscribe and, you know, just kind of give them a little brief.
Push two.
For extra goal, that's one.
That would be fun. Okay, any other ideas on getting information out? Okay, let's jump back up. So we have some good ideas. Let's say that this is what we were talking about in the meeting tonight, and then if the group says yes, go with those ideas, then we'll head our reps out to go collect some data, and maybe we can start as sort of next in some of it, writing up little blips to hit on flyers, piggybacking on flyers, if we get permission and send phone calls and somewhere in that presentation. Maybe. Let's talk about childcare at meetings and presentations. So it is my understanding we've tried this in the past, but I wasn't around to do this.
We have tried this in the past. We've talked about childcare in the past.
we talked about it.
Oh, okay. And here's I don't even know if we can even bring it to the CAC to ask them, but here's my immediate reservation is the insurance, the liability, and who would we have to provide care? I'm just worried about with all the special needs, would we have to have even without discriminating, like medical staff on for medically fragile children? I don't know what that looks like. So that would be my big concern.
And that's what it's still stands, liability issue, I know in school districts, they already have people on campus who have the training, and I'm sure they carry some sort of liability, I don't know. But it's always been an issue how to do it here.
Yeah, I don't know. I know for our Down syndrome meetings, we had to carry $3 million in insurance, and we have to have a certain ratio, and we have to have a certain, it's a big deal to have childcare where we have it. And when from having childcare and taking away childcare, we didn't see that big or drop, it wasn't more attendance or less attendance, so to speak. So now, when we didn't have childcare, we had children in the meetings, because people brought their children with them. Anyways, just a few, but when we had times where we staffed the childcare situation and nobody showed up at all. So I don't know what the benefit would be, so I'm just bringing it up too.
Well, Susan, did you have a chance to check with Crown and Norco how they do that?
You know what?
'Cause I know they offer
I
it.
have to go back to my emails, I know they confirmed that they
Crown and
do
Norco?
provide.
They do childcare at the CAC meeting.
Is it Chronomark? Is it?
They're a single district
There's
cell
lots,
phone.
they're a single
Yeah.
district cell, yeah, which is kind of.
But I'm thinking that, I'm wondering if I know what you're saying about the nonprofit for childcare and insurance. However,
Yeah.
since this is WESELPA, I'm assuming through the county, the insurance is already there because it possibly would be county people doing the care, you know, and then the insurance is already there because it's considered a school site. I just don't know how that works.
So a district would assign these people? I mean.
Well, I would assume it could be through the county, because WESELPA is through the county. So it could be county employees providing the care, being reimbursed somehow through the WESELPA/county.
Well, through a CAC
Right.
budget account, which we don't have.
Well, how they've set it up currently in the local plan and the edits is that it's kind of like as on a needs-by basis.
Right.
So they're
right. which is currently the case too, right? It's, I mean, it's sort of an as.
Right, there's no official budget for
Right,
this
right,
essentially.
right.
Right.
So whether this as.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
How do you do an estimate? How do you know?
So that's for the budget, that's how they're setting it up in the local plan.
How would you even know
Provide,
how many people are gonna come?
you know,
Oh,
How many people are
oh, I
gonna
see what
show
you're
up?
saying. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
how to make.
Like, we have no.
You'd have to probably get an RSP
I
share.
maybe,
That would have to come through.
I don't know, would it
Because I don't think
really
we can
relate
make,
to them?
we can make that.
For presentations only, for any meeting that we have?
Right.
Is it something that we even think would be beneficial? Would it, I mean, would it change the balance of what's happening?
Right.
Well,
Do you guys
this
see
is- I
never- I
in
never-
open doors,
this is
it
why I
is
was
an
saying-
educated advocate,
I don't
just
know.
making a lot
We
of,
don't,
you guys
We don't have childcare.
you don't have.
Because you know how right now we're kind of looking into getting the word out there.
Yeah.
So let's just say the word does get out there, and have more people coming in, right? More people wanting to come, right? It's
Yeah.
big more work. But then they want to come, but they can't because they don't have childcare. So then we're kind of,
I think I would like to probably find out
No, you are.
of an RSVP or something to know how it's, because as it is, you know, for the Spanish, for the translator, and we've always asked, is the Spanish to RSVP, so we make sure we have a translator. They
I know,
did.
true,
I don't remember having one RSVP.
but you always.
to be
always
honest, I didn't even know we had it until I joined.
No, it says so very clearly.
I know,
If you
but
read
I myself, and I don't know English, I did not even know about it. I
but
mean,
see, no, what I'm
and I'm an
saying.
English speaker.
No, but it's like.
But it's on every flyer.
I mean, like, we've been trying to get the word out that there's a Western South, but this is the information. But then once we do get out there, there's gonna be people wanting to come.
Hopefully, I don't know, because we get the word out about our PTA and our PTA meetings and our things happening with the baby and children that go to my school, and the same 16 people show up every time. We say childcare is included, and we have a balloon clown coming one time to get more people, and 17 people showed up. I mean, it wasn't, and we had to pay the balloon guy. So I don't know, I mean, would it change it? Then it might be beneficial, but I don't know that it would. So maybe,
I almost think that's something that needs to happen as you grow.
I wonder if we put it on the survey.
That's
Okay,
what I
so
was
you're
saying.
coming now, would this make a difference to you?
And then maybe if we were to call him and say yes, and we were to call him, and will you be attending, those people who would, you know, we would get an idea of.
Yeah, I don't know, don't make the balloon man come, because that doesn't help.
Well, what was helpful was there used to be funding, there used to be funding for last year, through last year, June, there
For
was
childcare?
funding for childcare through WESELPA, but they lost the funding. So that's what we were referring families to do,
Okay.
but now that doesn't exist, unfortunately.
Yeah, my concern would be, would it even change it? Would we jump through a lot of hoops and get insurance and get a thing and say, you know? Because it's true, sometimes if it's really important for you to be there, you find someone to watch it,
Exactly.
Right.
you know?
Right.
I think looking at the other three things we're talking before, it's probably good.
Well, I wonder if we work on that, get a good system for maybe seeing how this works, and then put it on the
They
survey.
put in the survey.
That's a good idea.
That's all.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Put it on the survey.
I know we had it in the original survey too, but I don't remember.
Maybe add a couple more questions on the survey, so they can, you know, like, how many you attend, how often we attend, you know.
I remember we had questions like, do you want to do a webinar? Do you
Then we
want to
can,
do
we
this?
follow up
So,
with all the.
we didn't get, we didn't get a lot of response from that.
But maybe if there is a subscribe button, it'll build a listserv
That,
and,
yeah.
and
And then we would
Oh,
have,
ask
automated to
survey,
get,
you know, the
and
survey,
then we
yeah.
would have to look at who will be the, like we was talking, who would be the one doing the daycare, would it be somebody from?
That can be, that can, I think
And
we
it's
have
in the
to.
evening, so of course the salaries and all that, you know, it's
Yeah.
overtime, double time, half, whatever. So that's.
But I think if, as you said, if that need grows, then I think it will be more worth our while to sort of.
Yeah, put it on the survey.
You know, there's a lot of people who participate, you see them at the art and writing contest.
Yeah.
But you also see the people at our talent show, the whole place is full. It's like come to an actual meeting, but nobody shows up.
Susan and Karen, do you guys get people who call in and say, you know, do you have childcare quite a bit, or nobody really ever calls for that?
We never get any calls about CAC.
Oh, okay.
But it does say on the flyers that childcare is not provided.
Oh,
So they may not call because of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but see, but you're saying that this, it also says that if you need translation, please call.
So I
Nobody calls for that, but they always, there's a lot of people always there. But not a lot, but there's
Right.
people.
More of the presentations than the
Right.
meetings
Right,
occasionally.
no,
Right.
it's a presentation.
But the presentations, more people show up that need, that would like a translation.
And that's where I would see the daycare is more of those presentations, which was about 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Right.
Not necessarily at a CAC meeting where we just are having 1 or 2 parents. So,
Is the translation thing still on there on the flyer since now we always have a translator or it's still on there?
I believe it's still on there.
Oh, okay.
It's always good to know too how many are coming,
Yeah.
even though I have it, although my translator didn't confirm and I just realized. Where is she?
Oh, yeah, it says
Make sure you have your-
information in Spanish too. I don't know if that means
it would be nice, like at our next presentation, to maybe not say that we're gonna provide daycare, but activities would be provided at the back of the room, because I know at some of the ones
If you
that I've
do that-
attended, there's a couple of kids with their parents, and
If
they
you
kind
do
of.
activities at the back of the room, according to the insurance for our other group, you don't have to be insured and you don't have to have the medically trained people and you don't, all those things disappear because their parent's still in the room. And there's a certain number of feet that the parents are within, according to our state farm guide.
So that could be-
However, you could get one of the twins that we have that like to turn the lights on and off. Every time a meeting, and that's really what kept you happy, so.
That's the other thing.
So we went with the lights on and off, I was like.
Well, whatever.
What data was it?
And that's, and that's the other thing, that's one of the reasons why we don't provide childcare hours. We want the parents to be able to take the information, to participate in it,
Right.
so it always interrupts with the parent.
I was, you remember that, was great, and I was like, just listen, you don't have to see anything.
That's gonna be a long term.
We'll just tape over those.
Oh my gosh.
They find something.
But I know, I'm just thinking last year, because I don't think I went to a presentation this year at any commitments, that we had the one room over here, and there were 30, 40 parents with maybe 10 kids, and there were usually older kids. A lot of them were, they could have been general ed, I don't know. We didn't have any severe disordered kids, so they would be able to go in the back and color, or here's a game, here's a quiet game that they can play, or something like that.
Just bring
It's an
an
option.
crayons and.
I think it might be the method, and then you know, what if, I mean, we can't rule out the possibility of disruption, and then, then it's like, once you've offered it, then it's kind of hard to.
And most parents carry their fun and give it to the kid anyways, but, you don't, my son has his own.
Thank God for that. Anything else? Meeting adjourned. 5:07.